right? So the question is, we have a boat here. So normally we do this thing, when you go to a pond or something, if you see something there, we can't keep quiet. We take stones and start throwing it. So man is throwing with a constant angle, but speed is changing. So the question is, find u so that the stones fall in the boat. Okay, so man is throwing stones at an angle 45 degree. So angle is fixed, but the speed can change. So man is standing on the edge of the cliff and he's throwing stones with speed u at an angle 45. So what should be the value of u so that the stones fall in the boat? Do keep your cams on. Hope the question is clear. Any doubts in the question, do ask me.
It's in 10 meters per second.
Is that the only answer?
No, sir, that is the least answer.
Okay. Then get the rest of the answer also. See, what is happening here, I'll tell you. When you're throwing it, initially, let's say if you throw with a very small velocity, you'll fall here, little more here, little more here, here. This is the minimum speed now. When you hit the left edge of the board, that is the minimum speed you require. If you throw a little faster, you'll still fall in the board. This is the maximum. If you throw anything more than this, again, you'll be out of the boat.
Sir, from 10 meters per second to 10 meters per second.
Yeah, so that means there is a minimum value and there is a maximum value. Make sense? So there is a minimum speed which you can throw and there's a maximum speed you need to throw. Anything between that, the stone falls in the boat. So this is your minimum. This is your maximum. So when you're hitting the left edge of the board, the speed is minimum. When you're hitting the right edge of the board, the speed is maximum. So if you want to calculate this, for the minimum case, what is the range? You're hitting the left edge of the board, no? That is 10 meters, which is u square sine 2 theta by g. This is the range ka formula. You need to find u sine 2 theta, that is sine 2 into 45, that is sine 90 by 10. So you get u minimum will be root 100, that is 10. For maximum, the range will be 20 meters, which is u square. Again, this is sine 2 into 45 by g. So in this case, you get u max will be root over 200, which is 10 root 2. So your answer will be, if your speed is between 10 root 2 to 10, your stone falls in the boat. Anything more than 10 root 2, you will be out. If anything less than 10 root 2, you'll fall before on. Hope the question is clear. Have a look at it. Any doubts, do ask me. So there is a minimum and a maximum. So in the exam, right, if they give you like this thing, which are the following speeds will make sure the stone falls in the boat, and they'll give you options like this thing: 6, 8, 11, 15. Now what happens here? People they won't understand. Most of the people will either do for 10 or 10 root 2. But the catch is anything between 10 and 10 root 2 is the answer. 6 is gone, 8 is gone, 15 is gone. Getting a 10 root 2 is almost 14. No? So anything between 10 to 14 is the answer. You have to be careful with that, right? Hope this was clear.
We can use v square u square value formula.
V square, U square, what is that?
V square is equal to u square plus 2v.
Okay, and what is V here?
I got the answer.
नहीं, normally V क्या होता है? Final
V
speed,
is
right?
final velocity. Yes.
Do you know what is the final speed when it hits the
Zero.
boat? You don't know, right?
Okay.
Getting it, and this is projectile, na? That too you can use in 1D motion, isn't it? Clear with this thing, everyone? Next thing. We have a lawn sprinkler, a water sprinkler. It's projecting water with speed 20 meters per second at all angles in all directions. If you ever been to a big garden park or something, you will see a water sprinkler, spraying water in all directions and these things. The question is, find the area covered in water. So how much area does this sprinkler, cover with water? So basically, if you see, you have a small lawn sprinkler like this. So this is projecting water with 20 meters per second. Theta is variable, theta is changing. So now see what happens, this thing falls here, and not only this thing rotates also. The water is falling here, Esa. Ever seen a lawn sprinkler, how it works? So when you see from the top now, you'll observe the water is going in all directions. So there is some area which is being covered. So how much area gets covered in water? So if you have a garden and you want to make sure all the plants are getting watered in the garden, you need to have a sprinkler with a particular level of speed. Get it? Hope the question is clear. You didn't get it, please ask me, I'll explain again. So in this case, now speed is constant. Angle can change. The same question can be asked like this also. A person took a gun and started shooting with a speed of 200 meters per second in all directions at all angles. Right? Find the area in which the bullets fall. So, idea was similar, quite similar. Only thing the water and there the bullets. Hope the question was fine. Any doubts, do ask me, or let's go ahead. I'll give you a minute.
Sir, 35200/7. meter square.
Let's see.
I got the same answer.
Hmm. Let's see. Now here, first thing you need to understand, the water will go the farthest when?
When theta is 5.
Yeah. So water falls in a circular region. Right? When the water is being sprinkled at an angle theta, first of all, you need to understand it will be falling in a circle, right? Whose radius is the maximum range. So the farthest you can throw the water is when theta 45. So that will be the radius of the circle, whose radius is the maximum range when theta is 45, that is. So basically the water that is sprinkled at a 45 degrees will fall the farthest. If you look at that thing, it kind of this is 45 degree. So this radius here is maximum range, which is u square by g sine 2 theta is sine 90. U is 20 by 10, so that is 40 meters. Now, if you project with any other angle, now let's say if you project with 30, you'll fall somewhere here, 60, you'll fall somewhere here. So you're going different heights, but the water will never exceed this radius. So what's the area? Area will be pi r square. It's a circle, no? That is pi into 40 square. 1600 pi meter square. Hope this was clear. Quite a big area. Speed is also quite high actually. So normally if you go to a golf course at any time or a big one, big lawn, they just install these sprinklers at different positions which cover up the entire area for water. Any doubts on this thing, please ask me. Turning the page. Find theta if range is equal to h max. Simple question. Find the angle if the range is equal to h max. Meaning there's a particular angle for which the height becomes equal to the range. Get this thing? Simple substitution actually. Fourth one, what do you do? So what is range? U square sine 2 theta by g. H max is u square sine square theta by 2g. U square, g gets cancelled. You can write sine 2 theta as 2 sine theta cos theta, which is sine square theta by 2. Sine gets cancelled. You will get 4 cos theta is equal to sine theta. That is tan theta is equal to 4. So that's it, done actually. So options will be like this thing. Tan inverse 1 by 4, tan inverse 4, cot inverse 4, cot inverse 1 by 4, kind of like that. So we can leave it like there's no need to find the exact angle. We won't be able to find. The answer will be theta is tan inverse 4. So fourth one is simply just take range the formula, H max the formula, put it there and get it. Fifth one, equation of a trajectory is given, y is equal to x minus x square by 2. Find u, theta, range and H max. I think fourth one, there should be any doubt, but still you got something to ask me. Any answers, sixth one? I'll just turn the page for this guy. So what you can do here? Remember equation of a trajectory.
So theta is 45.
So compare these two, na? So when you compare these two equations, what is x ka coefficient? X ka coefficient is tan theta, and here x ka coefficient is 1. So tan theta is 1. So just compare the coefficients. So here x ka coefficient will be tan theta, which is 1. So I know theta is 45. And then what is x square ka coefficient? G by 2 u square cos square theta, which is half. Getting it? You simply compare both the equations, the x coefficient and the x square coefficient. So g is 10, 2 u square I don't know. Cos square theta is cos 45, so 1 by root 2 ka whole square is half. 2 goes off. So u square will be 20. U is root 20. That is the speed. Once you get u and theta, actually you can find range and H max. But that becomes little, round types. But exam mein socho, they ask you find the range only. there is a better way to do this thing. You remember this form? You can write the range in another form. X tan theta into 1 minus x by r. This is the equation of trajectory of second form. So if you take out x common there, you will get 1 minus x by 2. If you compare now, you will get tan theta is 1. That's okay. You'll get r is equal to 2 directly. R is range only. No? Got it? If you compare it with the second form, x tan theta into 1 minus x by r, you'll get the range directly. Now, why we need to do this thing? See, exam, they'll not ask you u and theta. They'll ask you find range only directly. So instead of finding u, theta, and then finding range, nothing wrong. You'll get the answer. But you will say another 30 seconds maybe. Like I told you many times, exam, it's not only important getting the right answer, you have to get it in shorter time. So that is one. And next thing we also know here. So whenever you're projecting it, if this is 0, 0, this is r, 0, which I know now it is 2, 0. This is 1, 0, and this is 1, h max. The h max occurs exactly in the middle. That means when x is equal to 1, y will be h max. Na? So in the given equation, if you keep x is equal to 1, then the y coordinate should be the maximum height. So if I substitute x is equal to 1 there, I get 1 minus 1 square by 2, which is half meter. That means h max is half. I can do this way also. See, once you got u and theta, you can always use a regular formula, u square sine 2 theta, u square sine square theta by g, 2g. Nothing wrong. I'm just saying there's another way to do the same thing. So because we know when you throw a particle, the maximum height occurs exactly in the middle, only when it comes to the same level. So if the range is 2, the midpoint will be 1, 0. So it simply tells you when the x is 1, the y coordinate should give you the h max. Have a look at this thing. Ask me if there's any confusion in any particular part.
Sir, in the last row, g upon 2 u square cos square theta, did you first find r and then did you substitute over there in 1 by 2?
This one you're saying?
Yes.
No, that is this part, na? That whole thing on the top is one part. I compared these two, right?
Oh, okay.
I compared the x square ka coefficient and I compared x ka coefficient. All okay with this thing? Next thing. In this booklet, right, we observed actually half the booklet is missing. Right, so motion in a plane, half the booklet is missing actually. I don't know whether it is for everyone or not, but at least there are 2 books which I saw, half the booklet is missing. So what we will be doing, right, I already complained it. So we are getting the new books for that particular set, but temporarily I'll be sending a PDF to everyone. So we will use that temporarily till we get the books for that one booklet. So that is one. I'll be sending you the homework by the end of the class. Mostly 11 o'clock. Anyway, tomorrow we don't have a physics exam. So next week. That is it. So next thing, 5. We have a building here. There is a window at a height of 5 meters. At a distance of 10 meters, there is an innocent person. What will innocent persons do? They throw stones. Okay. At an angle 60 degree. So man throws a stone at angle 60 degree. Find you if it falls into the window. Straightforward question. Find you if it falls into the window. Now, few things, okay? That is not H max. There is no guarantee window is the H max. It might be, might not be, but don't assume. That's why I wanted to give the diagram, when it is coming down. Second thing, 10 meters is the range, but you can't use a regular formula because it's not coming to the same level. Now do. I'll give you 2 minutes. Answer looks a little bad, but don't worry about that process. I'm more interested in the process. Answer, you can always get a good one by giving decent numbers. If the question is clear, meaning pretty practical, then you guys must be doing this. Or did at least you must have thrown a stone on a tree, right? Or on a bird or something, kind of. Since someone is confused how it works, you can try in your society. Do not try this at home. Let's see. Now, don't think so much. The question is pretty easy actually. You just didn't realize maybe you could do it that way. If you take this point as origin, what is this point here? 10, 5. X coordinate will be the 10 and Y coordinate will be 5. I know Y is equal to X tan theta trajectory, na? Minus gx square by 2u square cos square theta. So this 10, 5 should satisfy this equation, isn't it? The point 10, 5 lies on this parabola. So if there is a point lying on equation, when you substitute, you should get LHS equal to RHS. So substitute here, y is how much? 5, x is 10, tan theta is tan 60, g is 10, x is again 10 square by 2, u I don't know. This is cos square 60. If you observe here, I know everything except u. हो गया ना, I'll get u from here. 5 2 2 so you get 1 is equal to 2 root 3 minus 100 by 2 u square. This is 1 by 4. And there's a 2 also sitting on the top. This also will cancel. So we get 400 by u square is 2 root 3 minus 1. So we get u will be 400 by 2 root 3 minus 1 ka root. Yeah, answer looks bad, but the main thing is just take the equation of trajectory and just dump 5 and 10 and 5 there. So the idea is this thing. You know x coordinate, you know y coordinate, you know theta, you want to find u. There is one equation where all 4 are there, the equation of trajectory. So have a look at this thing, ask me if there's any doubt on this part. Here, next one. We have a stone here projecting with 20 to 2 meters per second at an angle of 45 degrees. Find H max and range. This is the standard one, the first part. The B and C are the important ones. Find speed, time, when it reaches half of maximum height. So when it is at the half of the maximum height, what is the speed and the time? Find speed and height at 1/4 of the time of flight. So during the total time, if you take 1/4 of the time, at what height and what speed you will have. Get this thing, this is a good one. So this is the most important questions.
Page.
All right. Done copying. I kept it for a long time, right? Should have copied it before. Copy down the question, give it a try. Ashna, copy to the previous one. Yeah. Give it a try. I'll give you 4 to 5 minutes for this thing, then we will discuss. The B and C part, right? Those are the type of questions which come in the exam. You know, and the thing is, most people are projectile means they just remember range, H max, time of flight. Other than that, people don't generally remember anything else. So if this exam comes in the final NEET exam, right? Trust me, 90% people won't be able to do this thing. That is how dumb people are. In final exam means next year when the 12th portion gets over and revision is done, even then people won't be able to do. If you guys don't do, we are going to punch you. So do this thing. First one is easy. Dapta, you should have got it. Just dump it in the formula, H max. U square, that is 20 root 2 whole square. Sine square theta by 2g. That's 400 into 2 into 1 by root 2 whole square. So that is 2, 10, 20 meters. So the maximum height is 20 meters. I need to find time of flight also, no?
The speed is 20 meters for second one.
What happened?
For second one, speed is 20.
Speed is 20. You can't use v square minus u square is 2s directly, right? Here. You can use that for only 1D motion, right? Here there is a horizontal and a vertical component. So
So is the speed 10 root 2 meter per second for the second one?
That's not the complete answer actually. You're not wrong. That is half of the answer. That is where people get stuck actually. Now, if you ask me also, suddenly even I might get stuck there. This is sine 2 into 45. This is, yeah, 400 into 2 into 1 by 10. That is 80 meters. That is okay. Time of flight is 2u sine theta by g. That's 2 into 20 root 2 by 10, 1 by root 2, 4 seconds. This is the first question. Hope everyone got this thing. B part?
So,
Are.
time of flight should be half h max, right? So shouldn't we multiply that by half?
The first question है.
Oh, okay.
This is just the first part. I'm just finding Hmax range time of flight standard. I didn't start B and C. Because C में I need 1/4 of time of flight, na? So I need time first of all. So I just calculated everything. Shambi, what you got na is the vertical speed. There is a horizontal component also. Got it? What you got is only the vertical component. So speed matlab vx square plus vy square ka root. Even I forgot it yesterday when I did first time. And after a minute I remember there is a horizontal component also. Let's see. Now, first thing, listen carefully. There is nothing big magic, nothing, no tricks. Idea is pretty simple. You're throwing with 20 root 2. (45°), you're going like this. Normally, the maximum height was 20 meters. Now you are asking, when will you reach half of maximum height? That is somewhere here. That is somewhere here. That is 10 meters. So there are 2 times when you'll reach this point. So you should get 2 answers. Isn't it? One while going up, one while coming down. There are 2 instances when you will be at a height of 10 meters. Fair enough. So indirectly, what is given here? It is given y coordinate is 10 meters. Isn't it? What is the equation for y? Y is equal to u sine theta t minus half gt square. Hope you remember the coordinates ka equation. Getting it? If you see in another way, actually equation kya bata hai? Someone projected the stone upwards with uy, which is u sine theta, which in this case is 20 root 2 1 by root 2. That is 20 meters per second. So someone projected a stone with 20 meters per second. It will go up and come down. The question is, find the time when it will reach 10 meters. Didn't we do something like this thing in 1D? A stone is projected with 20 meters up. Find the time when it reaches half of the height. It was the exact same question. Sirf only difference is, isme there's the horizontal velocity also. But remember, anything that happens in the vertical direction is not affected by horizontal direction. But still, if you still not able to connect it, the idea was pretty simple from this equation. Y is 10, U is 20 root 2, sine 45 is 1 by root 2, time G is 10, so that is 5t square. Root 2 cancels, 5, 4, 2. You get U is equal to 4t minus t square. You got a quadratic. So t square minus 4t plus 2 is equal to 0. So t will be 4 plus or minus 16 minus 8 by 2. That's 2 plus or minus root 2. You can go and check it out in the one dimension motion. Exact same answer. So we get the time t2 2 plus root 2 while coming down. We get the time t1 2 minus root 2 while going up. Since you didn't tell me which one, I'll take both of them as right answers. But in the exam, they'll tell you find the time when it reaches 10 meters while going up, while coming down. So I'm just showing you the one in the bracket, right? Just to show you the resemblance, it is one and the same problem. Because see, I'm asking you when you will reach 10 meters of height, right? Means I don't care what is happening in horizontal direction. The problem is as good as assuming if someone throwed it up with 20 meters per second and they're asking you half of the H max. But still, the simple thing is y coordinate is given. And I know the coordinates ka formula, x is u cos theta t and y is u sin theta t minus half gt square. Just dump it there, get a quadratic and solve. Have a look at this thing. Ask me if you're confused. This is only still beam speed time. You still have to find speed. Have a look at this thing. Ask me if you're confused anywhere. Any doubts on this thing? Turn the page. Turning the page. Same thing. You want speed now? Vy square minus uy square is 2ay sy. See, remember, when you say v square minus u square is 2as, you cannot use this thing directly. You have to write either in y direction or write in x direction. Separately only you can do. You can't say v square minus u square is 2as. You want to do that thing, then it's actually this one. V bar square minus u bar square is 2a bar dot s bar. It's actually vector form. You want to write it in vectors, that's what you have to write, which is not useful. It's of no use actually. You won't get any proper information on that. So Vy square, what is your initial speed? 20 root 2 sine 45. What is your acceleration in the vertical direction? Minus g. Displacement 10. Isn't it? That was a question asked. Find the speed. But what you got here is only the vertical speed. Don't forget that. So here this Vy will be, that's 20 square minus 200. So Vy, this is 400 minus 200, root 200. This is only the vertical component. What is Vx? Vx is u cos theta, which is 20 root 2 again cos 45. If someone asks you speed, speed is not Vx or Vy, it is horizontal component square and the vertical component square. So that would be 20 square plus 200. That is root 600. 10 root 6. This is a good one. Because if you see the most common mistake, we find Vy and we think that is the answer. But we forget there's also Vx. Because when this guy was flying, at this instant, it has a speed Ux. I can say Vx. It also has speed Vy. And the question asked is find this one V. What is velocity vector? Vx I cap plus Vy j cap. So magnitude will be square them and add them. This is how you find the speed. Have a look at this. Anything you have a doubt on this question, please ask me. This is a good one. Till now, whatever we did, this is one of the good one. Find the time and the height, find the speed at half of h max. Next one. There is still C part. Huh? Find speed and height at 1/4 of time of flight. So in this case, time of flight is what? 4 seconds. Now, indirectly question is this: find the speed and height after 1 second. Give it a try. See. So 1/4 of time of flight. That is 1 second. What do you want to find? Height, no? I'm asking basically y coordinate. So u sin theta is 20, time is 1 second, half g is 10, that is 1 square. That is 15 meters. This is straightforward. The particle is at a height of 15 meters. Speed, no? What is Vy? U sin theta minus gt. U sin theta is 20, g is 10, t is 1. So the vertical speed is 10 meters per second. What about the horizontal? Horizontal never changes in this case. So u cos theta, that is again 20. So what is the speed? Vx square plus Vy square ka root. C part is still easy. So if you see, what we are using is that x is u cos theta t, y is u sin theta t minus half gt square, vx, vy. So these are even more, standard formulas than the h max range and this thing. These formulas you can use in wide varieties of cases. You can't use Hmax, range, time of flight, you know, if you're if you're asking something in the middle of the problem. Hope the C part is clear. Have a look at this. Any doubts, do ask me. Remember, whenever someone asks you speed in a projectile, be little careful. You have to find both Vx and Vy and square them and add them. 1D way you never had this problem because V means final speed. But here you're finding two speeds in two directions. So I cap, J cap will come. Any doubts on this thing, please ask me.
So 10 root 5, no?
I'm just checking whether someone is seeing or not. Root 500, 10 root 5. I have a habit of messing up. But in my exams, I am very careful actually. No props. Okay with this thing. Next one. Turning the page.
Sir, just a second. Last is remaining. Yeah, done, sir.
You have an incline. This point is 0, 0. You projected with u and theta. So this thing goes up and hits the incline horizontally. This point is 3, 4. So see, a particle is projected from the foot of the incline. It hits the incline horizontally. So meaning it has become flat. When it is traveling, it hits the incline horizontally at 3, 4. Find u and theta. Find the speed and the angle which you projected. Hope the question is clear. So the theta is the angle of projection. That is not angle of incline. This is not given. This you don't know. That you can actually calculate, but okay. Any ideas? See, in this question, where is the hint? This is the hint. Tell me one thing. During the projectile motion, when will the particle become horizontal? H max. Isn't it? Every other place, it will be like this, na angle pe. The only position where the particle becomes horizontal is H max. Are you getting it? So that is the catch in the problem. So if you see it is going this way, so at H max, the particle becomes horizontal, or the velocity becomes horizontal. So indirectly, you know what he gave you? This is origin. What is this point then? Half of range and H max, na? So indirectly, he gave you that this point R by 2 comma H max is 3 comma 4. So this must be H max. Right? So that is what you need to get information from the problem. Since the particle is hitting the incline horizontally, there is only one possibility when it can happen. That is if 3 comma 4 is the H max. So from here we get range is 6 and H max is 4. I'll solve it in the next page, but any doubts on this part, ask me. This should be clear. Any doubts on this thing, ask me. So during a projectile motion, the only place where it becomes, horizontal is the highest point. That means the point given should be the H max. And once you got that, then it is just a matter of putting the equation and solving. What is the range ka formula? U square sine 2 theta by g. H max ka formula U square sine square theta by 2g. So range will be U square sine 2 theta by g is 6. It will be U square sine square theta by g is equal to 4. Equation 2, equation 1. Divide equation 2 by equation 1. U square, g, cancel, there's a 2 here. So we get sine square theta 2. What is sine 2 theta? 2 sine theta cos theta. One sine also will cancel. We get tan theta is 8 by 3. Now, if you got tan theta and someone asks you sine or cos, this is what you do. This is theta. Tan theta is 8, opposite side, adjacent side. This is root 73. So you can find sine theta from here, 8 by root 70. Put this in equation 2. So equation 2 will become U square sine square theta. That's let's do one thing here. So U square sine square theta by g is 4. So you get U square is 4g by sine square theta. Again, number looks bad, but 2g, that is 8. This is 2. I wrote it right in the next equation, but I forgot 2 there. That will be root 80 by sine theta. That's 8 by root 73. There, that's your speed. I need to find sine or cos. Na? That is how you find, sine theta or cos theta once you know tan theta. Put it up. Ask me if there's any doubt here.
Sir, in the triangle, the hypotenuse is what? Root? Actually, it's quite blur.
73. Blur क्या होता है? You don't know how to calculate क्या? कितना lazy है रे? Square करके add करना है हमें. हमको सब copy करना है. Means by chance if I write something here, root of something, dragon or something, you will write that only. You won't try to calculate also. It is root over 1962. There, write it up. So I'm just teasing you. It is actually pi square. What is it, right? 73, right? Just add it to 64 plus 9. All are clear with this? Put it down. I'm turning the page. Next one.
Sir, wait.
Sir, can you go to the previous page for a second?
Over.
Yeah, done, sir.
Then look at this thing. A particle is projected with speed u and theta after 2 seconds makes angle 45 degrees with horizontal. So after 2 seconds, the angle became 45 degrees with horizontal. And 1 second after that, it is at H max. Now, if you see this entire question is full, you need to pull data from this question now. Find u and theta. I'll repeat the question again. You have a particle projected with u theta. After 2 seconds, it started making an angle 45 degree. And 1 second after that, it has reached H max. Find u and theta. Hope the question is clear. So what angle I projected, I don't know. What speed, I don't know. You need to figure out those two ways. Ask me if there's any confusion in the question. Question is clear? Give it. This is a good one. I'll give you 2 minutes. Now, if you observe one thing from the questions, right, there are barely 3 or 4 questions where you know the formula, put it there and you get the answer. You need to think. So you need to get out that mindset like, you know, I'll just mug up and I will do. That won't work. And how will you learn that thing? Only when you try enough. The homework or whatever, when it is given, make sure to put enough time. If you don't put enough time, you won't be able to get that ability to think. There's no other shortcut. Wish we could take a DVD or a USB and just upload it to your head. Life would have been easy. Doesn't work that way. At least it took me around 6 to 7 months to figure it out without any help. I'm sure you guys can do it in 2 months. If you don't do it now, nothing a big deal. When you join your first job, now you'll automatically start learning in 2-3 weeks. Do you find any info from here? See what is happening. First thing, it is making 45 degrees. Now he gave you alpha. Remember tan alpha ka formula? Tan alpha is u sin theta minus gt by u cos theta. This is one information is given. Second information, you're reaching H max in how much time? 3 seconds. Na? What is the time called? Time of ascent, isn't it? Initially, you took 2 seconds, then you took 1 more second. So indirectly, that is time of ascent. Na? In 3 seconds, you reached H max. So time of ascent is 3. So these are the two informations you have with you. What is time of ascent ka formula? U sin theta by g. So from here, we get u sin theta is 30. What is tan alpha? That is tan 45. What is u sin theta? Take u sin theta from here and put it in this. That is 30. G is 10. What is time? 2 seconds by u cos theta. Tan 45 is 1. So we get u cos theta is equal to 10. Now, this is your equation 1. This is your equation 2. If you do equation 2 by equation 1, you get u sin theta by u cos theta is 3. So we get tan theta is equal to 3. Next, if you take equation 1 square plus equation 2 square, then you get u square cos square theta plus u square sin square theta will be 10 square plus 30 square. Sin square theta plus cos square theta is 1 only. So u square is 1000. So the speed will be 10 root 10. I just scribbled up everything here, but I hope it is clear. So if you divide equation 2 by equation 1, you get angle. If you square and add equation 1 and 2, you will get speed. Again, I'll explain. See, he said after 2 seconds, angle is going to become 45. Indirectly, he said alpha is 45. That's one equation. Second thing, he said it took 2 seconds to make 45 and 1 more second to get H max. So total 2 plus 1 may you are reaching H max. So time of ascent is given. So from time of ascent, you get u sin theta. From time this tan alpha, you will get u cos theta. If you divide equation 2 by 1, u and u will cancel. You get tan theta. If you square and add equation 1 and 2, you will get cos square theta plus sin square theta, which is 1. From there, you get speed also. So have a look at the solution. Ask me if you're confused. This is how the question will be. It's like just simply solving 2 equations. Have a look at it carefully. Ask me if there's any particular doubt, anything that you didn't get here. Now, next one. Turn the page. Ninth is a good one. A particle is projected with u and theta. Find time when velocity vector is perpendicular to initial velocity. Meaning, now see, when this particle goes like this, if you look at the initial velocity, this is initial velocity. This is initial velocity vector. Okay, initial direction. So as it is going up, you'll observe, is this perpendicular? No. Is this perpendicular? No. No. At a particular time, this becomes perpendicular, na? As this is bending now, at some instant, this velocity becomes perpendicular to this velocity, initial velocity. This happens at what time? That was the question. Find a time when the velocity vector becomes perpendicular to the initial velocity. Because as this is going up, there is an angle between them that is not 90 initially. So you can say somewhat like this, somewhere here. So when you extend the initial velocity, when you extend the final velocity, you will observe they become perpendicular. What is this time? Hope you got the diagram, what I'm asking. So velocity after time t should be perpendicular to initial velocity u bar. What is the time? Get it? Hope the question is clear. You know what is the hint in the question? This word. Whenever two vectors are perpendicular, what happens? Dot product is 0. Getting it? So that is the catch. Whenever you hear the word some vector, any chapter, okay, it doesn't matter. Some vectors are perpendicular. Something is perpendicular to something. Indirectly is telling you dot product is 0. So what is first initial vector? Initial velocity will be u cos theta I cap plus u sin theta j cap. That's your initial velocity. Hope everyone is clear with that. What is velocity after time t? Horizontal velocity will never change, whereas the vertical component will be u sin theta minus gt. You can go to the list of the formulas where we wrote this ux and vx and v bar. Now what am I saying? U bar dot v bar is 0 because they are perpendicular. But itna hi tha. Then do the dot product. Na? What do you do dot product? Multiply the I components, multiply the j components. Cos square theta plus sin square theta will be u square. One u will cancel. You get a decent answer. It looks cool only. U by g sin theta. So have a look at this thing. Basically, you have to find u bar, v bar, and just do dot product. So if you observe something there, this is a problem based on vectors, dot product, and projectile. So this is what we keep saying. Physics mein all chapters are connected karke. If you don't know anything about dot product, you won't be able to do the problem. You should know how to resolve vector components, I cap, j cap, then dot product. So it is more of a vectors problem than projectile. Projectile is just a cover. Hope the thing is clear. Any particular doubt, please ask me. Be very clear with this thing.
Sir, V is any point.
Anytime, na? I don't know. Na? That was the question, right? V is the velocity at any instant. Okay. Sneha, everything clear so far?
Yes.
Purja, sab theek hai? Fine. Vansh? Keyur?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Turning the page. Yash, turn the page.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Plans one. We have a person here. He throws a ball with speed u and theta. And at the same time, he starts running with speed v. Man throws the ball with u and theta It starts running with speed v. Horizontal. He's just running horizontal. Straight line. Find v if he catches the ball. With what speed should he run to catch the ball? Normally we do this thing with a dog, no? We take the ball and throw it, it starts running. It's like that only. So with what speed should he run? Basically, when this is falling like this, the man is running like this. So with what speed should he run so that he will be able to catch the ball? Finish off. This is easy actually, meaning if you think about it logically, you'll get the answer in a step. But let's see. Tell me one thing, how much should the man run?
Range.
Range, no? Man covers a distance of range in time of flight, isn't it? By the time the ball falls, man also has to reach there, no? Man and the ball will reach the position at the same time. That means in the same time, man will cover the same distance. So speed of the man will be distance by time here distance is range and the time is time of flight. And if you remember range ka formula, it is actually u cos theta into time of flight, horizontal velocity into time of flight. And actually if you look at it, kind of obvious. The thing is, see, the man has to run with the same horizontal speed. I'll just show it in the next page how it looks. But if you want to solve, this is how you have to solve. By the time man reaches from here A to B, the ball also will reach from A to B. That is the time of flight. No? So the man covers a distance of a range in time of flight, which is nothing but u cos theta. Any doubts on this particular part? Do ask me. So actually, you know what is happening here? When this guy is running, when the man is here, you observe the ball is exactly on top of his head every time. Because you know both have same horizontal velocity. Now this guy is going with u cos theta. He is also running with u cos theta. So for this person, when he looks upright, he will see the ball is always on top of his head. Because both have same horizontal speed. So the expression would be like this thing. Since both cover same horizontal distance in same time, see, I'm not saying that speeds will be same. That will be a wrong statement. They have same horizontal speed. Because ball ke liye na, there is also a vertical component. You can't comment anything about it. But this much I can say, I'm sure both have same horizontal speed. You can't say speed of the ball is equal to speed of the man because ball will also have a vertical component. That is simply making you go up and down. So that won't matter. So the same horizontal speed. What is the horizontal speed of the ball? Ux, which is u cos theta. That would give you one step. Why don't we see this in real life? Because in real life, when you start running, you're actually accelerating. You don't start with a constant speed. So for some time, the ball will go ahead and then you will cover up the remaining distance. Hope this was clear. Put it down. All copied this page, no? So basically in this scenario, right, the man is always exactly under the wall. Okay, next one. Last one. You have a building, 80 meters. Someone projected it horizontally with 20 meters per second. Find time of flight and range. A stone is projected horizontally. Find the time of flight, that is time taken to reach the ground, and the range. So in this case, range will be this guy. All your formulas that you learned are gone. You time of flight formula, range formula are gone. They're not applicable. So now we are slowly entering into, throwing from buildings. So we'll continue more problems in the next class also based on this only. See, let me help you out. First thing, when it lands here, remember the point which you throw is always the origin. It doesn't matter where it is. Just remember that thing. It doesn't matter where you throw from, it is always the origin. Now the point where you land, this is what? R comma minus 80, na? Because you're going below the y-axis, x-axis, the y-coordinate will be negative. Hope all are clear? So now, Sy is uy t plus half ay t square. Now one thing here, u is 20, what is theta? Theta is 0. Because you're projecting horizontally, na? Since you're projecting horizontally, theta is 0. So what is this thing? Y coordinate minus 80. What is uy? U sine theta minus half g t square. This is also 0 because theta is 0. So we get minus 80 is minus half g t square. We get time is, how much is this? 4 seconds. So this is your time of flight. If you see, we are simply doing this question actually. You took a stone and dropped it from rest. Vertical component 0, hai na? Like this is what I was saying. When you are asking about time, I don't care what is happening in the horizontal direction. What is x coordinate? X coordinate is u cos theta into t. So here x becomes range, u is 20, cos 0 is 1, time is 4 seconds. So range is 20 into 4, 80 meters. That's it, done. Since you can't use a regular time of flight formula, you can always use this. Y is equal to ut plus half at square. Y will be negative because displacement in y direction is negative. You're coming down. Theta is 0, so u sine theta is 0. Sine 0, 0. So from there you get the time. What is range cut definition? The time, the distance traveled horizontally in time of flight. So u cos theta into time of flight. Put it down. Any doubts on this thing, please ask me.